president hosting the awards before. This is the first. I'm sure they'll give me great reviews, right? You know, they'll say he was horrible, he was terrible, it was a horrible situation. No, we'll do fine. I've watched some of the people that host. Jimmy Kimmel was horrible.
If you have watched late-night television at any point over the last few decades, you know the comforting, familiar formula. The studio lights glow warmly. A house band plays a catchy, upbeat tune, and a host wearing a tailored suit delivers a series of lighthearted jokes meant to help the American public unwind after a long day. For years, it was a harmless, predictable sanctuary of entertainment. But recently, that sanctuary was breached in a way that no one could have ever anticipated. What began as a standard broadcast of a late-night talk show rapidly spiraled into one of the most tense, shocking, and unprecedented live television confrontations in modern history.
Tonight. Well, maybe I haven't prepared. Maybe you want to be a little bit loose. If you look at the great hosts, Johnny Carson, Bob Hope, those are the greats. If you look at the not-so-greats like Jimmy Kimmel, he was...
Donald Trump walked onto the stage not to sit for a polite interview, but to launch a direct, calculated attack on Jimmy Kimmel's credibility. But instead of laughing it off or shrinking under the pressure, Kimmel did the unthinkable. He stopped the comedy, pulled out a stack of explosive documents, and delivered a comeback that didn't just end the segment. It brought the entire studio to a dead, horrified silence. The atmosphere in the room changed the exact second the former president walked through the doors. He did not wave to the cheering crowd. He did not offer the host a customary polite handshake. He marched directly to the guest chair, fixed his gaze heavily on Kimmel, and delivered a harsh, judgmental insult. "You're a failed comedian," Trump stated, his voice cutting sharply through the usual studio chatter. "Your career is built on cheap shots because real people never laughed at you." It was a classic aggressive tactic, designed to immediately put the host on the defensive and force a frantic attempt at humor, to diffuse the sudden suffocating tension. In the past, many interviewers have stumbled in this exact scenario, unsure of how to respond without escalating a live television disaster. But Kimmel did not take the bait under intense pressure, and he understood the immense power of a strategic pause. He let the insult hang in the air, allowing the audience to feel the awkward, heavy tension.
We've redone great marble floors that were beat to hell, and we've replaced them with the most beautiful marble, statuary marble. They call it in Italy statuario, great white and black marble that forms Greece and big parts of Italy. And Italy, during a time when Italy was extremely strong.
When Kimmel finally spoke, his voice was remarkably steady, completely stripped of its usual comedic cadence. "Tonight isn't about jokes," Kimmel said, leaning slightly forward, his expression dead serious. "It's about truth." The audience immediately leaned in. That single, heavily weighted phrase signaled that the safety rails had been entirely removed from a broadcast. Kimmel reached beneath his desk and produced a document, holding it up carefully for the cameras to capture. At first glance, it looked like a standard official hospital birth certificate. But Kimmel did not speak right away. He let the visual of the document take a moment to sink in, building a natural, gripping suspense. As the giant screen behind him zoomed in on the fine print, a collective ripple of gasps and murmurs of pure disbelief spread across the studio audience. People exchanged bewildered looks. Jaws literally dropped.
And to the left. Thanks. He can dance. He does impressions.
Yeah.
He is athletic.
Oh, shake it.
And he's not only an amazing artist, he also is an incredible poet, too.
Kimmel explained with calm, surgical precision that the document had been sent to him by a brave whistleblower, a former hospital worker in New York who could no longer stay silent. The certificate listed the parents of Barron Trump, but the names clearly printed on the official notarized document were not Donald and Melania. A shocking moment unfolded on late-night television when Jimmy Kimmel presented documents that allegedly listed Donald Trump and Ivanka Trump together in a claim so explosive the studio fell silent. Trump immediately lashed out, calling the document fake and accusing the show of spreading lies meant to harm his family. Kimmel, however, remained calm and introduced a blurred whistleblower.